Hey everyone. It's been more than a while, and I know that, and I'm partially sorry, I suppose. I don't think anyone's like waiting with bated breath for my videos, but this is another book review. It's going to be fast because it's not a big book. You're looking at about 300 pages, slightly over, with the little addition of a book preview at the back. So yeah, this is a Warhammer 40,000 novel, which is very much on my mind and on my conscience right now. Steel Tread, written by Andy Clark, and being an Astra Militarum novel, I'm not entirely sure what that means. Now, I know the Astra Militarum is the soldiers of space, essentially. This is what you are. You're going in as one of the humans. You're not a space marine. You're not, an inquisitor or anything like that. You're just a human. So you're in for a tough time because this is the Grimdark. And you will actually follow this lady here. That's Etzel. That's the new commander of the tank that you see in the background, a demolisher tank that's called Steel Tread. And Etzel's drafted into Acadian regiment because the Acadians have lost their planet. They're struggling with reinforcements. They're scattered, they're being decimated. Same as any other human force in 40k, but the Cadians aren't renewing themselves anymore the way they were because they've lost their planet. So she's kind of got something to prove. And you've got various personalities in the tank. It's a classic kind of new commander, break them in, earn the respect, that kind of stuff going on. What kind of... it is a bit of a disappointment to me, but it might not be to many other people, is that in this book you will follow a kind of a unique path. This is not about being a tanker on the front lines kind of every day, like holding lines, digging trenches, doing advances, doing retreats, that kind of stuff, which is where I would prefer it to be, really, if I'm honest. This is very much we set out on a mission, something goes wrong, and then for probably 2/3 of the book to follow, it's like a specialist kind of story. It's not so much every day. In fact, it's not anything like every day. It's very specialist. And I don't want to ruin it for you as to what happens, but they've got a very large enemy kind of bearing down on them. And they're all over the place trying to escape, evade, attack and evade, like all this kind of stuff. And I think it's done quite well. I kind of wanted to stay as a regular kind of tank crew, if you know what I mean. Like, I didn't want to be all super special, but it's not up to me, is it? It's up to Mr. Clark. And Mr. Clark took them on the special route. And by the end, you kind of... it has to be a bit spoilery, and I apologise. If you don't want to know anything about the end at all, then please, by all means, stop. But, the end that they were ramping up to, I was quite enjoying. And then, for the finale, they kind of ditched the tank. And... It's supposed to be about the tank, right? It's supposed to be about the armoured corps, and they just ditched the tank, and that really kind of upset the apple cart for me a little bit, because it just became another kind of any old kind of unit on the ground kind of thing, and I was like, well, why would you leave the tank? You're there for the tank. This story's about the tank, and you've gone and left the tank. So that was a bit of a jar for me. That kind of, it rang a bell, and didn't particularly like it. But overall, the story is still amazing. I really enjoyed reading it, and this is the book that I've been digging into for probably about a month. Because everything else that I was reading has kind of come to a stop, and like almost reading in general came to a stop. And this has kind of got me back on track. So it's short, it's a bit of a flash, but I enjoyed it. If you like the grim dark, if you like Warhammer 40,000, and you're even slightly interested in the Armoured Core, what it's like to be a tanker, I'd say pick it up, because I really enjoyed pretty much everything tank related, and there was a lot. So, I mean, there's some minor flaws, like Mr. Andy Clark here, when going through, he'll spot certain vehicles, and he'll name them, and there's a Chimera or whatever it might be, right? Seriously, hundreds of names you could pick from, and he's like, oh, there it is. And I like Warhammer 40,000, I really do, but I don't know all the vehicles off by heart. I don't know their, like, you know, I don't know them hardly at all. So I kept having to Google Warhammer 40,000 and then the name of the vehicle, and then go onto images and go, oh, that's what he's looking at. Oh, that's what he's like. He doesn't describe it at all. He just names it, and that was a small frustration for me. And I think probably for anyone who's not like super diehard 40k. But yeah, still, little quibbles aside, it's good. It's fast paced. It's an enjoyable book. So if you would like to find out more about the Armoured Core in the grimdark of 40k, I suggest you pick up Steel Tread by Andy Clark. That's it. That's all I got. Cheers.